Janelle and welcome back to Rosery Apparel. Today I plan to give my sewing space a really good reorganization and spring clean. I recently made over a shelving unit in our lounge room. Basically, a couple of weekends ago, I binge watched the show Motel Makeover on Netflix. And ever since I watched it, I had this real craving to paint something, a really lovely peachy terracotta color. So I decided to paint this shelving unit, and ever since I did it, it's really made the space so fresh and lovely to be in. And I figured because I spend nearly all day, every day in this space, I should probably do the same in here. Besides, it is definitely in need of a really good spring clean. Also, Matt has started working from home permanently, and we both work in this space. And I'm not gonna lie, at the moment it is 95% my space and probably only 5% his. So I kind of need to condense my stuff and give him a bit more space in here. And hopefully just make the whole overall space a lot more practical as well. Okay, so as you can see, I've got my desk set up in this corner, and then this used to be kind of my paper pattern shipping station. So when I get a pattern order, I would package it up on this table, and as you can see, I've also got a lot of my patterns stored on this table as well, meaning Matt has kind of had to cram his two screens into this tiny little space. So the plan is to remove the pattern storage completely off here so he can have a whole desk, lucky him, which means I'm going to have to condense my clothing rack a little bit to create a bit of room for some storage along this wall. I've placed an IKEA order and I purchased, I think it's called the Iva shelving unit. It's this really affordable shelving unit. I'll pop it on the screen now so you can see what it looks like. And I got the option with some doors so I can have some pretty storage on display, but also have some of the not so pretty stuff stored away as well. I also bought a heap of these beautiful plastic crates. Look at the color. It's like almost exactly Rosery pink, which is the pink color of my cutting table and my pegboard as well. Like, it's almost exactly the same color. I was really happy with that. I was actually inspired to buy these crates after seeing Gabriella from Juniper Moon's studio space. Gabriella also had the Iva storage system with these crates, and it just looked so beautiful. So I've got a few of these littler crates and then some of these bigger ones as well, which are perfect for storing my sewing patterns. Basically, they are flat packed and then you can clip them into a crate. I'll show you properly later, but I'm obsessed with them. I have already got some that I purchased when I was in Japan last, and they are so useful, but I was so happy to find these beautiful pink ones. And also from IKEA, I purchased the Rigger clothing rack. I have these two clothing racks here at the moment, but to be honest, they are really not very stable at all. I've had to make some sandbags to prevent them from just toppling over, and I also need to condense this down. So I think this clothing rack is slightly bigger than one of these. So yeah, basically the plan is to probably start by making the clothing rack and condensing this down. I still want to keep a clothing rack here because I kind of think it looks really nice in the background of my videos just to have some of the clothing I make on display. And then I'm planning to put the Iva shelving next to it, and that will be the new home for all of the bits and pieces on this shelving unit here. Okay, I was not expecting them to fit that easily on this new rack. It's actually so much bigger than I was expecting, which is exactly what I need because I obviously make quite a lot of clothes. So now I'm going to get rid of these, give this whole area a good vacuum and a dust, and then we can put the new clothes rack in its place. Okay, I am so happy with this clothing rack. It is so much sturdier than the other ones and it's the perfect size. And I actually think it looks really good having all the clothing a bit more compact on one clothing rack. And obviously having a little bit more storage here is just going to be such a good thing. Now I think it's time to tackle the Iva shelving unit, which I have to say I struggled enough with the clothing rack. I'm a little bit apprehensive to see how I go with this one, but I'm excited about it, so let's get started. So I just had a read of the instructions and it turns out putting this shelving unit together is a two-person job, but Matt's in meetings all day, so probably should have read the instructions before tackling this, but I'm going to try and have a go on my own, and I might need to get some assistance from Matt once he's finished his meetings, but hopefully I can do it on my own. Before I get started on building this shelving unit, let's take a moment to talk about the sponsor of this video. This video has been kindly sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for curious and creative type people. If you enjoy my YouTube channel and other channels like mine, then you are going to love Skillshare. On Skillshare, you can find classes on a huge range of topics such as sewing, fashion, photography, illustration, the list goes on and on. Each class is broken down into bite-sized lessons and is created to make it easy for you to learn new and practical skills, meaning there are no ads to interrupt your learning, and most lessons are under 10 minutes long so you can easily fit them into any type of schedule. A class that I've been really enjoying lately is one called Building Pattern Tiles in Adobe Photoshop by Dylan Mazwinski, and it has been such a fun and colourful class to take. Creating my own range of fabric designs is a huge dream of mine, and through taking this class I now feel I have a good understanding of the basics of pattern making to be able to get started once I find a pocket of time. So if you'd like to try Skillshare for yourself, then the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description below will receive a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. Thanks Skillshare for being such a great supporter of this channel. Okay, the doors are on and I'm so happy with it. I'm also very proud that I was able to do it all myself. As you can see, I've just popped a couple of the crates on there to see what it looks like, and I think it's just going to look so amazing. I'm going to stop for a little lunch break now, but after lunch I will get sorting all of these patterns into crates and then I can pop them on my new storage. It's a good lunch day today. Matt made this delicious soba and vegetable salad last night for dinner. And oh my goodness, it is so delicious. It probably doesn't look that appetizing right now because it's leftovers, but it's another recipe from this book here. This book has been our go-to lately. I bought it for Matt for Christmas last year and it is just filled with the most delicious meals. We've had a go at making our own bao buns many times and it's so much fun to do and they're so delicious. But we thought we'd try something else out of the recipe book and 10 out of 10 would recommend. Okay, so now I have the fun job of sorting through all my sewing patterns. I feel like the way I'm storing them currently has been working really well for me, but I'm just so excited to have so much more storage space now. So when I release new patterns, which I hope to do in the future, I'll have space to be able to store them. I've just made myself a cup of tea and I'm just figuring out what the best way to go about doing this is. I think what I'm gonna do is make up the crates and then put each design of pattern into a separate crate. And then I've got a whole heap of like packaging supplies and paper and things like that need to find a home as well. And I think that will be perfect for going in behind these doors here. And then I also have my label printer for when I print shipping labels. I'm thinking of actually putting that on this shelf here. I'll see how it looks because the label printer is not the prettiest thing ever. If it's a little bit ugly, I might actually end up storing it in here as well, but we'll see how it looks. So as you can see, I have so much more storage in this new shelving system. I haven't even filled up 3 of the crates and they were literally stacked in there so tightly. So I'm really happy about that. I actually have to restock a lot of the patterns as well. Some of the different size sets are running very low in stock. So that is definitely something I'll be adding to my to-do list this week. But yeah, look how cute this whole situation is looking. I'm so happy with it. It looks even better than I thought it would. Okay, a little bit of an update. I've just spent the last hour or so sorting through all of the stuff that was in and on here and on this table here. It feels so good now that everything has its own spot. I just feel like my mind has been instantly uncluttered. It's exactly why I wanted to spring clean this room. There was just stuff everywhere and there was no organization to it at all. So now I have a few random like old notebooks that I just like to keep to see, you know, what me from a few years ago was up to. I've also got some machine knitting books there as well as some knitting patterns. And then these are all my cardboard envelopes that I package most of my sewing pattern orders in. I also love that I can now just shut these doors and it's all kind of nicely hidden away in there. And over here is looking a lot emptier as well. I'm actually thinking of getting rid of this table completely and just having like a nice little sitting area here or something. But I think that will be a tomorrow job for sure. it is now day 2 of spring cleaning my sewing space. Let me show you how it's looking. So this side of the room I'm very happy with. It's coming together nicely. And yesterday I also managed to clear up Matt's desk, so now he has a lot more space. I love this whole his and her situation that's happening over here though, and I love that our desks can sit nicely next to each other like this. And then yesterday I also managed to clear up this corner of all the clutter that was on this table. I think I'm going to move the table completely and put, like I said, a kind of like sitting area here. The table doesn't get used as it is. It's more just a dumping ground, and if I get rid of it, I think that will prevent that from happening. Also ignore the curtains being way too long for this window. Something I've been meaning to fix, but the lighting's just so good with the curtains as they are. I've just left them. So the plan of attack for today is I want to start by velcroing the power boards onto the underside of the desks. At the moment, it's all a bit chaotic with them on the ground like this, especially when I've got my sewing machine and overlocker foot down on the ground as well. I also want to fix up my pegboard a little bit. It just needs to be rearranged a little bit and yeah, given an overall good tidy. I often get asked a lot of questions about my pegboard. It's just a ordinary pegboard I bought from Bunnings, which is just like a hardware store here in Australia. And then I painted it pink myself. I also often get asked why I waste half of the pegboard by putting it on the ground like this. And the answer to that is because I'm renting this house, so I'm not actually able to put it up on the wall horizontally. I instead have to lean it up against the wall, which is why there's a bit of wasted space there at the bottom. But when I do own my own house, I will definitely be making the most of this board by putting it horizontally onto the wall. And then apart from that, I just need to give the room a really good vacuum and a little bit of a dust as well. And then I think I'll try and move that table in the corner and go from there. But it's definitely coming together and it shouldn't take much longer until it's all completely done. And let me tell you, it is already feeling so much fresher and better to be in. I'm so happy with how it's looking, and I think we're both going to be very productive in here from now on. And my sewing space has finally been spring cleaned. It has taken me a good day and a half to do it, but now that it's done, it was so worth the effort. Let me show you how it looks now. I think by far my favourite part of this space is this new shelving unit. I still can't believe how much stuff it's managed to fit in here, and I've still got heaps of space left for when I make new patterns. I just am completely obsessed with how it looks. It works so nicely in this space because already we had kind of the timber look going on our desk. And then with the pink crates, it just works so perfectly, even better than I thought it would. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with it. Also, I have some new tissue paper that I wrap my pattern orders in, and I decided to just sit it here on this shelf. I just think it looks so pretty here, and from now on, all the pattern orders will be wrapped up in this tissue paper, which just looks so adorable. I'll pop a picture up of what it looks like on the screen now so you can see. And yeah, I'm just so happy with how it looks. Honestly, giving your space a good spring clean like this just makes such a difference. It's actually crazy how much difference it makes. I just feel like both of us are going to enjoy spending time in here so much more now. I've now just packed the car full of all the stuff I'm going to be donating to the charity shops, and I'm going to go head off and do that now. So if you did enjoy this video, I would love it if you could give it a like and subscribe to this channel for more sewing related videos like this one. Have a lovely day and thanks for watching.